in transmission. We are back here live with the program. We were talking about the Mark Golding's rent to own scheme before we lost our feed. When before we got interrupted there, and I said to you, or before we went off, that that scheme is been going on by JPS by NHD. We call it it was called they put you on a lease in those schemes along Spanish Town Road, one Caribbean Palms, and the schemes along that road in the 2 miles area in Spanish Town, in the constituency of Dr. Angela Brown Burke. First, you go there and you get what you call, you apply for housing based on your income. You're put on a lease, or if your income is a bit higher, you go on mortgage. And while you're on the lease, if you can afford on the mortgage rate, they take you off lease and then go on mortgage, and eventually you will own the unit. That's going on a long time. So Mark Golding come with this rent to own scheme, not anything new. Right? It's not as a good morning, Annette Allen. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us, Annette Allen. Good, thanks for being on the program, Annette Allen there. Welcome to the program here, and share it with your friends. I'll be talking about Jamaicans and politics. And this is we lost a feed earlier. We are back here. Welcome to the program. And we said to you that we have to listen and be careful about these things. So I said to you earlier, it's not a new plan. So it's a deal. And it is not really new. All right, we're going to continue inside the program here. There's a big talk recently. There was a big talk recently in Jamaica at the opening of the St. Thomas Urban Center. All right, I will not. All right. I will not stay away that long. All right, Ali, I will not stay away that long. Thanks for joining, and tell your friends to log on and join as well. And feel free to give your comment on the program and share with friends and family. And as long as you keep on joining, we won't stay away again so long. All right, thanks again. Welcome to the show. Dudley Thompson live here. We're talking politics here inside the program here. We're talking politics, and we'll go back now to something. And again, I want to go on to give it. Okay, thanks very much, Annette Allen. All right, and thanks again. I want to give us your feed on this now. There'll be a talking point from Mr. Mark Golding that Dr. Charles disrespected Dr. Fenton Ferguson. All right, and we're going to look at the scenario. We're going to give you the scenario in details, and then you're going to tell me if Dr. Charles did in fact disrespected Dr. Fenton Ferguson. You know, it's Mark Golding saying that Dr. Charles disrespected Fenton Ferguson.
And Prime Minister, 365,000.
No, we have, sorry about that. We have the wrong clip there, and we're gonna go now to Mark Golding.
Yes. Anyway, all she has done is stir up the hornet's nest, and she's going to get the sting of her life when election day come. Comrades, the Member of Parliament in Eastern St. Thomas, I don't want to say nothing about her. She is somebody who deserves to be badly beaten in the next election. Badly. She has no class. I asked Dr. Fenton Ferguson to represent me at the so-called opening of that center. And I chose him because of the fact that he has served so long as a leader of the constituency, winning it 6 times. And somebody who has been a minister of government, was my cabinet colleague, and I thought somebody who had the stature to represent at that occasion. And when I see how she disrespected him, totally out of order, totally uncalled for, unbecoming of somebody who calls herself a member of parliament, an absolute disgrace. Anyway, all she has done is stir up the hornet's nest. And she go and get the sting of her life.
That was the PMP leader Mark Golding saying that Dr. Michelle Charles, the MP for St. Thomas, disrespected Dr. Ferguson. But did she? You judge and tell me if you see any disrespect in what she said or what she did. We're going to hear now from Dr. Fenton Ferguson. And he was speaking some years ago at the groundbreaking ceremony for that St. Thomas Urban Center. You know, let it in.
One-stop center for St. Thomas must be big. This project is too big to fail. And Chairman Tanny Shirley and his team, Board of Governors, must be congratulated for having a sense of mission on this project. But I want to say to Dr. Charles, as big as this project is, I'm sure you wouldn't want me, after all these efforts, to miss it. So we will do what we have to do to ensure that the implementation, Prime Minister, that I will be around.
So, from the groundbreaking ceremony, Dr. Ferguson plans he want to be around at the implementation. That means when it's actually being actualized, he wants to be around. So from that ceremony, when we breaking grounds, he knew that he would be there. And then Margolin said he asked him to represent him. But from the opening ceremony, years ago, he said he wanted to be there. All right, let's go now to Michelle Charles. What Michelle Charles said on stage. Let's see if it can find out where she disrespected Dr. Ferguson.
Right there called Rent to Own.
All right, I'm gonna find the correct clip there for you.
Politics. Because today we're not talking about promises. We're not sharing visions of what could be or what we think. We're standing on the ground of what is a dream made real. Let me invite Dr. Fenton Ferguson to join me on stage. Come on up here, Dr. Ferguson. Dr. Adrian Bonner, the Honorable L.G. Newland, the Honorable Isaac Barrett, Miss Violet Thompson, the Honorable Bernard Charles Sr., and the Honorable Dr. Fenton Ferguson all tried this and wanted this for Eastern St. Thomas. The only difference is I have Dr. the Honorable Andrew Michael Holness and the JLP administration. Action, not a bagamow. St. Thomas Eastern is proud of you, sir. And we're proud of your government, sir. On behalf of the previous members of Parliament, the entire St. Thomas Eastern, and Dr. Fenton Ferguson, he and I happened to run in joke here, because he was here for the what were you here for? We were breaking the ground, and he said, you know, let me come here, don't you? He said, when we were breaking ground, you will not allow me to be here. And guess what? I am here, and I will not allow myself to sit down without standing right here beside him. Let me tell you something. Popcorn said it best. I know where I come from, but look how we now. Look how we now. Look at we now. Zero we have come from. I'm not blaming you. But look at we now. Listen, everybody. Choose Jamaica. Politics. Because today.
All right, and maybe I'm missing something, but can someone tell me where in that was a disrespect to Dr. Ferguson? And I don't see it. Maybe somebody can show me. But I'm trying to find where in that clip where she did anything disrespectful to Dr. Ferguson. Yeah, and get to see it. But yet still, Mark Golding said she was disrespectful to Fenton Ferguson there during that ceremony at the grand opening when he called the so-called opening. Yes, he called the so-called opening of the St. Thomas Urban Center. And that center put St. Thomas on the map rather. St. Thomas is no longer the forgotten parish. And if you look at the St. Thomas now rating for Mark Golding in St. Thomas, the PNP is at 30% ratings, positive rating 30%, saying that a good job, while Mark Golding is at negative 20. So two parishes now we can see why Mark Golding rating is so low in those parishes, and also in Hanover, where we told earlier in part one of this update that the PNP, according to Craig Oates, the PNP's constituency office in Hanover is in disrepair, full of rats and roaches, and no water and no electricity in the PNP's office in the constituency in there in Hanover. And when it's an election year and your office in the area is in disrepair, I mean, person on the ground in Hanover for the PNP need to do some work in that area when they come on to getting things ready for the PNP in Hanover. So you see there again, and can someone just show me, tell me, and they're not seeing that level of disrespect by the PNP to Dr. Ferguson, mean by Dr. Charles to Dr. Ferguson. Dr. Michelle Charles is the daughter of President Charles. You all know that by now. All right, and now that the PNP don't have a press conference, well, may I can join it very shortly. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but there is a big thing with the PNP now on the drill, and I asked some question about that drill earlier. That is the cost of the drill. What Dr. Alfred Dawes was saying, that 30 million was the cost of the drill, or is it the cost of the drill and the attachments? Because I saw invoice, I saw invoice on that drill earlier, and I'm gonna drop it in invoice. Yes, I can't show the invoice. I got the invoice on that drill, and it detailed the cost, and it detailed what the attachments are on that drill, and why the drill cost over 31 million Jamaican dollars, and some saying it's a ripoff, and that some ripping off is going on, and the drill cannot be so expensive. So I'm not looking for the invoice that I got about the drill. Yes, I got the invoice on that drill. All right, and it's very detailed, mind you, a very detailed invoice on the drill, and all the different costs on the drill, right? You can see it on screen. There's a very detailed invoice on that drill. All right, very detailed invoice. These are the different parts. See those fine right in here are the various parts that the drill, the various parts. You can see here by the fine right in here. And these are the various parts, attachment, that come with the drill. You can hardly read the fine writing there. That's it. That's the invoice for the drill. Part invoice, and invoice continues here. So it's a lot of attachments that came with that drill. All right, that's in right. Come here, give me that drill. And if I was to show the total cost, there, it's bottom of the screen. It's the total cost there. It's about 27,267,000. See total there. The cost of the drill, and the attachments. So it's not just a drill. It's drill plus a lot of attachments. All right? So, and the drill alone, I've been told, it costs over $3 million for the drill alone. And the attachment, and there's also a maintenance cost of $4.5 million over a 2-year period. So the drill cost, the maintenance cost, and the cost of the attachment come up to $31 million. So it's a lot of attachments there that come with that drill. That's a one drill. A whole heap of attachment. You can these are the attachments that come with the drill. There's a whole heap of attachments that come with the one. Over 150 of them that come with the one drill. All these are attachments that come with the drill. And that's a one piece of equipment. A whole heap of attachments. If I can read some for you, I can read the entire. It said AT&T MR8 77 centimeter straight serial. And you have a Midas saw. You have sag saw blade 19, attachment MS footed, tool. You have Cornell Performer, tool MRS, tool, a lot of things. A lot. It's a lot to read. It's a lot. And based on the invoice that was sent to the government, all these total 27.68 million. And then now the cost of maintenance for the drill over a 2-year period is 4.5 million. So that's a one drill that costs 31 million. Right? That's a drill that costs 31 million. It's an entire drill set. And some persons were led to believe that it's just the one drill that cost the 31 million, right? The one drill that cost the 31 million, the one drill set. And I'm trying to find a drill set here. I have it somewhere here, but that cost 31 million. But the drill set, it came with this a piece what they call a foot pedal. It's a part of it too, a foot pedal. This is a part of the attachment. A foot pedal that come with the drill, right? This is one part, the foot pedal that come with the drill, all right? And it also come with a console. This is the console thing that come with the drill as well, a console. And these things cost money as well. The console that come with the drill, all right? The console that come with the drill. And all these things cost money. And this is the front page of the document. You can see here. And it says, issued February 6, 2023, procurement for the supply of delivery of neurosurgical drill for Bustamante Hospital for Children. All right, and that was what we saw there. So it's not just a drill. As some people might add, it's a drill plus a whole heap of attachment. All right, on a sad note, we want to express our condolences to the founder of a Jamaican radio station that's in Portmore, Sun City, Miss Doreen Billings. You know, she had passed. Yeah, she had passed there. Miss Doreen Billings there, she had passed on. And to the family there at Sun City, we do extend our condolences to the family there and the radio family at Sun City for the passing of Miss Doreen Billings. Yeah, man, Miss Billings there for you, and she had passed on. And we say, may her soul rest in peace there, Miss Doreen Billings. And she's the founder of Sun City Radio in Portmore. And she passed on, and sadly, she passed on the day of the anniversary of Roots FM 96.1. That's Sunday. She passed on Sunday, the exact day. And she was also a presenter at Roots FM 96.1. and she transitioned on the day of the anniversary at Roots FM. So again, condolences to Miss Billings are there for you, and she'll be sadly missed. Well, you call her Mama B. I mean, if Doreen Billings there for you, and and Saturday she passed on. Huh? And see, this is on a good political note here. We're seeing it where Prime Minister Andrew Holness, he went to a Labor Day function, and he bought a gift and gave it to Wavell Hines, and said to him, must give it to leader of the opposition. Give it to Mr. Golding. He bought the gift. He bought one for himself, and he bought a second one and give it to Wavell Hines and said, give it to Mr. Golding. Show there of political love there by the Prime Minister. Yeah, man. So it's a good look there. So again, so we're hoping that I know there's lawsuit going on and lawsuits between Sierra and file lawsuit again, Dr. Dawes. I want to see how that will work out, because this issue is it need to be settled in the public interest. We also see where Desmond Mackenzie also filed lawsuit against Damian Crawford for statements he made on political platform. So the height of the political tension, lawsuits are now been filed. I remember we saw earlier where a member of the GLP said they're going to sue a blogger for calling him a liar. So lawsuits are going left, right, and center here in Jamaica when they come on to politics, because we're now in the height of the political season, and each party want the edge. So right now, you have to be on a P&Q, because lawsuits are going everywhere. All right, as you wind down the show here for today, recap here for you that we look at the blue dot poll earlier, and it is showing the Prime Minister with a slight advantage. And it does not mean that he's going to win the elections or his third term is secure. It does not mean that. What it means is that the PNP needs to do some work, yes, on the ground. And also it means that the persons who were undecided or who are undecided at the moment are now thinking, yes, they not say that they are now leaning towards the GLP. And it does not translate into a definite vote for GLP on election day. That they're inclined to vote for a GLP. What are the figures saying? And the Prime Minister, 43% lead in good ratings. But for him to be secure as the Prime Minister or going forward, it needs to be between 55 and 60. If the next poll, listen carefully now, if the next poll was to come out, say, in the very near future, and the Prime Minister's 43% ratings move up to about 55, then we can say the third term is guaranteed. But right now, at 43% is not guaranteed. It is saying more likely he'll get most of the votes, but not a surety. But if that 43% go above 55, the third term could be a given. So that's so. So the JLP now, the PNP now need to do some work to get Mark Golding ratings up from 27 up to the 50s. If Mark Golding want to have ambitions of becoming Jamaica's Prime Minister, because of 27% ratings, that cannot take him into Garden House. So the people need to do some work right now to get those. If Mark Gold can go into the 40s, that would mean more likely you get a strong showing on the poll. But right now, he's way behind and need to do a lot of work to get back into the 40s if he wants to have any ambition of going into got the house as the next Jamaica's Prime Minister. And the PNP need to do some work on the ground. We heard that Lisa Hanna has now crossed the floor, and that could be bad news for the PNP if in fact Lisa crossed the floor. And it's say, remember, we don't vote in Caribbean, we're voting for the Jamaican PM. We only get better when PM change the kick. Right. They're voting for the PM, right? And we all know that Jamaican Parliament, Jamaican population, they normally vote on the strength of the party leader. If you can remember, a couple of years ago, it take about some years ago now, when those Edward Seaga and PJ Patterson. PJ Patterson became Jamaica's first prime minister to get 3 terms. And why he did that? Because they had a campaign to demonize Edward Seaga. It worked. The PNP then demonized Edward Seaga to the point where Seaga could not even win an election. And that resulted in PJ getting 3 terms that year. Because, and they say PNP lies catch up with them, and we found the trick in the IC. Wow, and they said, well, that might be so. Because we saw where I told you in the first half of this program earlier, where the PNP sold a lie to the young people in the private council elections. The young people were under the view that when they vote in that election, to be they voted out bro God. And they did not know that the election at the private council level is not about government, it's about local representation. And they was sold that lie. And when you lie to young people in Jamaica, that's not a good sight. So PNP needs to do some work to get back the support of the young base between 34, between 18 and 34. And that base were for the JLP then. But now they're saying JLP is average and 18 not working. You notice young people not buying their lies. And they're going to say, hey, young people not buying the PNP lies. Wow. And the PNP need to do the work if they want to get the young people back on their side. Because they sold them a narrative in that election, and they realized that it was entirely so. Because after elections, where PNP claimed they won, Angie is still the Prime Minister, and that left a lot of young people confused. I have to explain to them that the private council election is not about government, it's about local reps, the councillors and the mayors, not member of parliaments. So, because civics no longer taught in Jamaica. I did civics in school. I passed civics in school, so I know these things. So, civics is no longer in school, so most young people don't understand elections. And I did a program some time ago telling people that when you vote so Jamaican prime ministers are not elected, they are appointed. Yes. Jamaican prime ministers are not elected, they are appointed. Because on election day, when you vote on election day, you vote for members of parliament. You don't vote for a prime minister, right? On election day, you vote for 63 members of parliament. The party that wants majority of the seats forms the government. The party that has the majority recommend one person to the GG to become the prime minister. And in most cases, that's the party leader. And the GG appoint that leader as prime minister. Right? That's how it goes in Jamaica. In Jamaica, you don't elect prime minister. You elect members of parliament. And the GG appoints one member from the winning party to become prime minister. And normally it's the party leader. There's only one case in Jamaica I can remember where a party leader was the prime minister. That was Hugh Shearer. Between 1968 and 72. In that time, Bustamante was the party leader. But the first time in Jamaican history that the prime minister was not a party leader was that time. Yes, Hugh Shearer who served 1968 to 72 before he lost to Michael Manley. So that's how it went. That's how Jamaica thing went. You don't vote for prime minister in Jamaica, so young people need to know these things. So be tricked again. They come on to the next elections. All right, so you can give us some of your thoughts. You can give us some of your feedback, your thoughts when you think about Jamaican politics. And do you think the worst thing you can do is lie to young people? The risers message not connecting and leaders are unmarketable. Wow. Coming there from Annette Allen again. So the risers, they say the risers, surprisingly, most Jamaicans are calling the PNP the risers. Is it a fact that we're not seeing a PNP? Is it a fact that this elections we're not seeing a PNP views? We're seeing the risers instead of the PNP? Is there a disconnect between the People's National Party and the risers? So come election day, we could see JLP and the risers, and JLP and PNP. That's what we are saying. That's what we are seeing. Well, will be a sad thing if that's the way it's going. The risers and the JLP. Could be a case where the Jamaican people want to vote for PNP, but not prepared to vote for the risers. Could that be the case? The Jamaicans want to vote for the PNP, but not the risers. Could that be the case? We have to wait and see how this will happen. I'm going forward here in Jamaica's election. Yes, a lot. Anthony is saying yes. Yes, that Jamaicans are prepared to vote for the PNP, but not for the risers. Bro, serious? It's something to think about here in Jamaica going forward. Not for the risers. Jamaica like PNP, but not the risers. So could the risers be the downfall of PNP? Only election can tell. Only election can tell. It could mean two things. If the PNP was to win elections when it called between now and September, that could be a rise for the risers. If the GLP was to win the elections, it could mean the death of the risers. And if PNP win, it will give the risers more fuel to continue going forward. Well, this election could determine a lot of things. Wow, they say that they need back the Northern Manley PNP. Anthony Allen saying we need back the Northern Manley PNP. Wow, what we are seeing now is a different PNP from what founded by Northern Manley. They need back the real PNP. And they keep on saying that the best of the last of the PNP was under Portia Simpson Miller. Was the last of the PNP. Was under Mrs. Portia Simpson Miller. The PNP now gone is something else, but we can understand what happened to the PNP of nowadays. Is the risers. The risers. What happened to the PNP? The comrades. What happened to the PNP? Is the PNP now our risers? It is serious. And that's the reason why the PNP is doing so badly in the parishes. You can see in Portland, the PNP is trailing, the PNP is negative in 11 parishes. And the PNP is positive. No, the PNP is negative in 11. The GLP is positive in 11 except 2. So, based on if you was to base election on this blue dot poll now, it means that the PNP would only win 2 parishes in elections. And those are St. Mary, we have Wright and McLaren also. Let's see, we'll come there from Wright and McLaren. Wright and McLaren is calling here right now. He's asking what time? Hello, Wright and McLaren.
Yes, sir.
You're live. You're live on air.
Oh, I'm live out.
You're live. We're talking a bit about politics in Jamaica. You're the man who is down on the ground and you're working, and we don't want you to tell us your political allegiance, but based on what you're seeing on the ground now, What's your thoughts going into the elections with both PNP and JLP?
What my thought when the election? I
Yeah,
think,
what are your
well,
prospects? What do you think is working for the JLP, working for the PNP? What people need to do? What JLP? What was your synopsis?
I think what the JLP needs to do based on the poll,
Mm.
and I think this poll have some form of accreditation now.
Yes.
Yeah, there are some form of accreditation now. So I think what the present party needs to do is to continue what they are doing, but a little harder. And because they are doing, to be very honest, that's not. I'm looking at the both person, not JLP no one people. Let's look at the two persons right now. I think the Andrew Holness
and Mr. Golden.
Right. I think the Andrew Holness picked up at a good year. I think what he has done there in St. Thomas has really given him a big boost. Just like when he finished the that overhead bridge there in 3 miles.
Right, yeah.
That gave him a big talk. So I said what he did now in St. Thomas has really highlighted the people in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mr. Golden is picking up something, but I think the problem that Mr. Golden has, as I heard somebody say, I have more than one person say that when he speaks, it's like him kill him oneself. See the point? Yes, when he speaks, he kill him oneself because I think what happened in St. Thomas, if he wasn't there, I think he should have shut his mouth. I didn't say anything. Right? More than come out and tell us and want this lady to get a beating and
the so-called opening.
So-called opening. So the thing is when Portia Simpson Miller government, when they started that bus park in Arbitrary.
Yes.
It was finished by the
JLP under Bruce Golden there.
It was finished under Bruce Golden. Mm-hmm. But when Bruce Golden invited Mr. Portia Simpson Miller, she came and it's like he make it look like she did it. But even though him do it, but it makes she was a full part of it.
Yes, she did the opening ceremony. She started it, but
right.
But the JP did the opening.
Right. So even though it was Bruce Golden government finish it up, but to make the PNP Portia Miller look at it. You started it, so we invite, and they wrap together.
Right.
So the thing with my Golden, he easily step apart and have some form of negative criticism to me. That's what is killing him.
Right.
Point?
I look at
either don't say anything or how do you do it hypocritical because it's all politics, but say something then that will suit the people that is following you. We don't talk about the so-called because everybody knows that no government has ever seen St. Thomas. The first in the history, out of the 14 parishes in Jamaica, the only part that never have a stoplight, a KFC, a Burger King was St. Thomas. Mr. Andrew always brought all those to St. Thomas. Good road to St. Thomas. No, man, at least say something, no? I shut your mouth.
I remember at the ceremony for the groundbreaking, Fergus was there speaking, and he said he wanted to be there when the thing actually actualized.
That is it, because right,
and Michelle Charles have a good rapport going forward. Despite their PNP and JLP, they're a good rapport going forward.
She invited him.
Right, because she knew he was there at the groundbreaking. And he said he wanted to be there. He wanted to be there when the thing actually is happening. He wanted to be there.
But him come man, him step right in our mouth, belly and everything.
Yeah, I don't see disrespect. I don't see where Mr. Go and say disrespect. I don't see it. Disrespect. I don't see it.
Say you don't see any disrespect there?
No.
No, listen to me now. There are times you have to be very careful as a leader. I mean, I did not see where Dr. Charles disrespected Dr. Ferguson. Oh, I think he said don't see where Bruce, where Mr. Golden disrespect Miss Charles.
No,
Oh,
he did that. He disrespected her sexual you have in the class and all these things. He disrespected her.
right.
But I did
You
not
can't
see
do it.
no part in that clip where Dr. Charles disrespected Dr. Fenton first. I did not see it.
No.
What I saw there was a good rapport against two persons from opposing political parties. That's what I saw.
And, this is the time. This is the time when women in let me say Jamaica has been abused by men. Look what happened the other day. Tell this time, man, she's something good now.
Yes.
She's something good. You ever talk about this? No, you don't say that. The woman is have a doctorate. She's an MP. I mean,
Right.
I want to put on all that way. She have no class. You know, you're an opposition leader, open to be the prime minister. So when you become the prime minister, what you're going to do?
Right. And her father, Colonel Charles, her father spent years as MP in St. Thomas, Colonel Charles, senior,
Of course.
as her father.
So
Under Edward Seaga.
yes. Everybody know that Mr. Colonel Charles Dudley have a creditable background here.
Yes, years as
The
MP in
point
St.
to,
Thomas.
let's not, as I said, I'm not talking JLP and P. I'm talking a two person.
Yeah.
So right now, I think if Mr. Holness continue on this path what he's doing, I think probably I don't see him can lose the election. I don't see him can lose. No matter what I want to say, because if a poll give him 10% ahead, let you and I say they'll drop it down to 6, 7 then. So that means he's ahead. If he said 3 or 5, maybe, but 10% ahead. And as I said, that poll is now getting some accreditation now.
Yeah.
You can now listen to them.
The Blue Dot poll.
Yeah, man, they're getting some accreditation now.
Well, this poll have Prime Minister up 43% and Mark Golden 27%, 28% based on their ratings as party leader, as Prime Minister and opposition leader. And based on their ratings.
But even that poll said Mr. Golden has gained some popularity as well.
Yes.
So the poll wasn't biased.
No, not a bias poll.
Right, it wasn't biased. The two-party gain, does that Mr. Holness gain more? What he needs to do is humble himself and walk right. But him rude.
Yes.
And the opposition leader should not have said that.
Right.
And the opposition leader, what party, he should not have said that. You are gaining some momentum. Just humble yourself and talk right. You know?
Yes.
If you don't say anything at all, that thing, look and say, boy, I'm not saying nothing, you know. I said, boy, to be very honest, the opening of that center, or the center, I couldn't make it, but I said now representative. Fine.
But the question
You know,
is,
but don't say anything about
did
that
he,
woman to take it up. But so God. That's not God. That's so, no, just be frank. You know?
but did he send Dr. Ferguson? That's the question. Because Ferguson wanted to be here from the groundbreaking ceremony. He said it at the groundbreaking ceremony that he want to be here at the actual event when it's been actualized, and he was there. He was called on stage by Dr. Charles, and they had an dialect rapport as PNP and GLP representatives.
But it make it look as if to say he was the one who sent him there.
Right.
But he was officially invited to be there.
Right.
By Dr. Charles and the JLP. He was invited to be there.
Right.
What I said, I think what is golden big is done for, and I heard it from another person. If you talking, stepping out one more.
Well, like
that's what he did.
well, I tend to agree because I said on this program earlier before you came on about his housing plan, right? Here, about his rent to own housing plan, like it's a PNP brand new idea. But the fact is that idea had been going on NHE for years during the White Wing 2 miles era scheme, because a person who live there now, they have two options: they get lease or mortgage. If you unlease and they can afford the mortgage, you can go unmortgage and eventually own the unit.
No, okay.
Mr. Mouse Holding come now announce on platform is PNP new idea, rent to own house. Like it's something new. And that idea has been going on years ago under the NHT as lease to own. But he said rent to own. But this the same thing. It's not anything new. It's gonna buy NHT long time.
So I think what you need to do, I think you need to weigh his word first before him speak.
What I think,
If he's in a position where he is gaining some popularity, gaining, if he can come with something to the public positive, because they can tell you, PNP as a woman, I was say, sure, you know, I'm going to vote for him because when I like family cut on the woman, because what you need to understand, there are PNP that love JLP and
Right.
JLP that love PNP.
right.
They may not vote for your party because I think about 8% of PNP in this country that say Andrew doing a good job. That doesn't say they're going to vote for Andrew.
Up to 8. No,
But the reality is
it gone to 12 now.
12.
Right.
All right.
That don't
The
mean
point-
that don't mean they're going to vote for him.
Thank you. But the reality is, it can reach a point.
Well, Anthony Allen say all her life. Well, let's second. Anthony Allen say all her life she not seen this official leader in Jamaica. Come there from Anthony Allen. One of our viewers.
What have you said?
She said all her life she had not seen this opposition leader in Jamaica.
You have never seen him in Jamaica?
Seeing this opposition leader in Jamaica. With the type of behavior, she mean type of behavior or he exhibit behavior in public.
Okay. No, I get it. Yeah, man, I think that him need to sit down and study, because I'm not saying that I know, but to what I have listened to, when they asked about this whole FinSat thing, and he said, like, to me, what I heard as if he doesn't know much about it. And then I saw somebody think coming up where probably was a part of it or something like that.
Is
So
a beneficiary of FinSac and Bunting.
Okay. But to my understanding, I really don't know much about FinSat.
Right.
As I said, I think he need probably a good advisor. I don't think Mr. Patterson is a good advisor if he's using Mr. Patterson. PJ Patterson. I don't think Mr. Patterson is a good advisor to use. You see the point?
Yes.
But he want a very good advice. So I have a man like Mr. Manley around.
Right.
And I don't know. Clark is still alive. I don't know. He's supposed to know Mr. Clark.
Clark. It was on the PJ time, yeah.
Yeah, man. Mr. Clark, even though he was the active of the party, but those guys were pretty well good person in the party then. To the point?
Yes.
And yeah, some other person.
Anthony saying he's rude, vindictive, and bad mind, and irrelevant. Come there from Antoinette Allen.
Said what?
Saying Matt Gold is rude, vindictive, and bad mind.
Yeah, man. He's putting down himself. He's putting down himself. To the point, as I said, he need to go back. As I said earlier, he need to go back and look at that clippings with Miss Portia Simpson Miller and Mr. Golden. With those two things. The two party, one started, one finished, and the two of them work together.
Right.
So the thing is, it's going to get finished. I think he should have something to say positive. That somebody can say, boy, this man changing, but these are cheap talk and bad man talk and so-called,
campaign talk
No.
where it was cheap, playing cheap politics.
Yeah, you see the point?
Yeah.
Me feel when I St. Thomas. The other day I drove to St. Thomas, and when I drove on the highway, I can't believe it.
St. Thomas.
It's like you're going on the Seattle highway or
Wow.
the 2000 highway.
St. Thomas
Let me tell you,
is no longer the forgotten parish.
no longer. See the point?
Yes.
And you know that. You have a person never see stoplight, and people have to stop. Maybe some of them gonna have to stop light for the first time.
in their parish, yeah. We know I know popular fast food place in St. Thomas.
You see the point? No, they can't go and get them in Kentucky. Another thing that is there. The man can't go. The people getting jobs now.
St. Thomas was singled out to be elected based on the history. The rebellion by Martin Rebellion.
Yeah.
That history work against St. Thomas for years. Like how the Haitian thing work against the Haitian for all these years. It's a similar situation. History against Haiti and St. Thomas. But now, St. Thomas is no longer forgotten.
Not at all.
It's now a parish that is now poised to take off and for development. And we saw it started with the MP, Dr. Ferguson under the PNP, and is now continuing now under the Andrew Holness administration. So it crossed political borders.
Yeah. So I think that it needs, because the two things that Andrew used, that two things that Andrew is using, that I said I don't want it. I'm just giving the Andrew and the Golden right now. I think crime is going on with a plus to Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crime is going with a plus. Because last year May, it was 140 crime committed last year May. This year is 40. See the point?
Yeah.
But I love what the commissioner said. The commissioner said that every May there's a crime. So to me, I'm a very smart man, because I said, if this morning I was saying to one of my colleagues, right, whatever profession they're doing and the skill that they're doing, always be very cognizant and look ahead. You must have a vision. See beyond the ordinary.
Right.
Don't just move on, because when I know what he said, this is happening every May. And most something is happening that way it's happening every May. So don't just look at it, boy, I'm not kill. So they must find a strategy to say, boy, this is how it's happening every May. That's an excellent observation.
Right.
So crime is going on and road are fixed in the country.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know?
You're in your field of work now. You saw a lot of persons on a daily basis. What's the feedback you get from young people based on your line of work as to what's happening in Jamaica, based on the crime situation, the poverty alleviation, and all those stuff?
To be honest, I have a lot of talk with young people across, but based on social media, what I've been seeing, it's very good, because when it comes to heart, presently, I am doing a degree now in heart, and it's free of cost. Degree, level 5 degree in heart.
Mm-hmm.
Free of cost. I don't pay $1.
Free of cost.
Free.
Wow.
You know, being 1, 2, or 3 of us doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of persons are going doing this degree free of cost, and there are other degrees on the free of cost. Children that apply to heart, not only apply to art, they have been getting a stipend. And your Dr. Delpo Davis said, it seems like people are being paid to go to school. So I think young people are seeing some form of, unlike for your country, push we all know we can stay our country now and get free education and get job our country. So you have to run from your country.
Well, when I was in Jamaica, I went to art in 1989 and get a stipend. They said that $50 those time. You get $50 every week. That was 1989 until now about when I went to art.
I got the same thing too.
Eh?
Same thing. The $50 I used to get it, but that time was at work. You get that work, and I remember when I left school, you get that work in $50. $10 extra until you move to $80. And when I could remember,
No, I was working out. I was going to Garmex along Mount Gabby Drive through a course in machine mechanic, and I'd get stipend. And I went to art a second time. I did a course in customer service. This was when I working at Roots FM through Mustard Seed. And it's all free of cost. All free of cost.
So I think young people now sort of see a way out now, because people are getting jobs, and over boys down there within the food and nutrition, I think some people are being placed before them graduate. Because when they go out and do their presentation, people love them. So the jobs are there before them graduate.
Wow.
So people are leaving the art program into a job.
Well, that's
Even
good.
though we're paid before. Yeah, man.
That's why Jamaica's
So,
rate is now 3.4% unemployment rate. Very, 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 very low. Lowest in Jamaica's history.
yeah. So I think that, you know, people look at it on a political point of view, but for the country that I live in, you know, as I said, I hold I hold two visas, you know, and I tell I've been to these two countries. But let me say this to you, Jamaica is my home.
Right.
Jamaica is my home. It's good to go and visit and, you know, see what's happening on the other side of the world, come back to your yard.
Right.
You know. But anyway, no, not with a year. But what I really want to say, you know, I think this government is positive ahead, based on what I'm seeing, based on what I've heard, and based on what the poll is saying.
Right.
People are having a strong thought, you know. And when you see a man like Muta Baruka, I said, well, they need to help him because sometimes he don't talk like I'm on a slow down park attack and I want to treat himself.
Yeah, I remember Buta saying that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Buta said that. Yeah, Muta Baraka saying that. Yeah, I remember.
I think you need to go to school to do presentation. How to some speak something like that. You know, I think you need to know to talk with the public. I don't think Mav that. That is his weakness. He don't know to talk with the public. You know? He don't know the language, he don't know. He just don't know. And that's what is killing him. So maybe it's not that people wouldn't want him, but I think, you see the point? Because if I come here, you know, and I'm going to say, boy, well, like Mr. McLaren talk about, I don't like how him smell. I don't like how him dress. Turn them off.
Right.
You see the point?
Yes,
so
yes.
I like when I'm talking, I don't have money, but I don't like when I'm smell. So, I think that represent me, you know, turn off people.
Right. Present, it's about total package. Present total package.
Say it again?
It's about the total package.
Of course.
Like if you're a singer, if you have a good voice and I don't dress properly, you turn off people. Because they want to say the total package.
Exactly what people want to say. You know, so I think that he needs a lot. He needs a very good advice. And basically what I said, if he as Mr. Patterson as his advice, I don't think he's going to make it because that man wasn't that excellent Prime Minister of Jamaica, you know. Because if you are if you
well,
no, you was.
I know Alan is saying that Golden is not Prime Minister material.
I don't see that kind, but I'm not going to kill him, you know. It's not that I would kill him that he's not Golden, that he's not Prime Minister material. See the point? What I am saying, right? I think that he has some weakness that is the word coming from him mouth can kill him. She said
PJ can help him.
Who said that?
And a viewer, Alan said PJ can help him.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Because he wasn't a good Prime Minister. And those who know, he wasn't.
Right.
I was talking to somebody that the person said to me, say, when she was growing up, as a little girl, she grew up and said, PJ in power. And the next 18 years when she grew up big, I still PMP, just don't know much about the JLP. See the point? So, Andrew come on the scene now, doing something like it, and say, okay, this is what the JLP can do. See the point? So people just have him there. And just the reality. It's just the reality that he did not do a good job while he was there. And just the reality.
Well, I just said this years ago. What he did years ago was actually left. It was actually PNP plan. For instance, the 3 miles big development. PNP signed a contract years ago and the plan sit down upon like chair.
Dudley.
And you went, saw the plan, and put the plan into action.
Dudley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know, but we were told of the story that a man wanted a shovel to borrow.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to the gentleman out to borrow the shovel and did attack long and then the man is coming to Virgin morning. Let me shovel now. And he just borrowed and gone. Man said, no, geez, I know the shovel come to borrow. We want to get the shovel.
Right.
Then the man asked him.
Right, yes.
All right. So the thing is, if the PNP is going to sit every day and put things in place, put plans in place, that's what they're going to do. And you come and get it done. Who is the one who get it done?
Right. The one who do the work.
Exactly. Some credit. I said, I'm not saying JP and PNP, I'm talking Mark Gordon and Andrew now. What Andrew did, because I said, 3 Mile wasn't Andrew's plan.
No, it was actually PNP plan.
No, it's PNP plan, but I want to tell you still now. I want to tell you that 3 Miles plan was Eddie Siaga was talking about long time. Eddie Siaga was saying that 3 Mile in a overhead bridge, you know.
Years ago. All right, before that, I remember this. I remember this. 1980, Colonel Charles said Jamaica need an expressway. One road from Alpha to Ochi. But the Colonel Charles was a madman.
See the point?
And he said for that to be possible, I've lit down the Alpha clock. And he said no, that clock is a part of the history. It cannot be demolished. Fifth term was expressway from Half a Tree to Orchard, one highway.
All right. Which one is happening now, though?
That was said by Colonel Charles in 1980. I remember that. All right.
What is happening now?
Right. I was talking to Andrew Holness a couple years ago in Jamaica. And he said to me that he saw a file in after the Prime Minister for years and did not pay the file no mind. When he look at the file eventually, it was a plan to rebuild Garden House at Hero Circle from the plan was there from the plan was dropped by Naman Manley from about 1959. The exact plan was put there by Naman Manley to move the office, the parliament from Garden House from Duke Street to Hero Circle.
And that's what he's working on now.
Right. That was drafted by Naman Manley.
And I'm going to say this. If you want a 4th term, you can start work on that from now.
I think PNP have wanted.
Anyway, I don't think, no, to be honest with you, I don't think that can give him a widespread vote because a lot of persons might not know, right? Might not know the good work to move Garden House stuff there. It may influence the upper class and go to work there, but I think to me, I don't think the majority of people would know. I look at Upper Camp. Upper Camp Gate was moved down somewhere. It was an excellent move. How many persons know about that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that good move to fix the Upper Camp.
Excellent move. Great move. Look better to the public and to the scene. Very good move. But how many persons know what happened at Upper Camp? So moving that thing, you know, it is good for those in Parliament. It's for those in the surrounding. But I don't think that would reach a vast amount of persons. So that could not be a political gain.
No.
That would be a tremendous gain for the country in a whole, in that blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
It would serve everybody.
I think
I
what the vision there from money back then was to have all the ministries in one area. Because Hero Circle now you have the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education there right now, and Ministry of
Social Security.
The security right there. You want to have this like a shrine. We have all the various ministries in one area. That was the long-term plan for Manly. All the ministries be in one area. And the Parliament now, you leave the ministry building, you go into the Parliament.
Okay.
That was the division of Manly back from the 50s, but it was since now. I see where Andrew
I
Mullen
think
started to try to put that vision into reality. I mean, the PNP
we
has
are
this thing all the years.
we are Manly got my good credit, is that Manly was a visionist.
Yes, Norman was a
I
visionary.
know, I know, I know. I was much younger than them, but even though I think there are some very, very hard and rough, tough times on the Manly, right? But I think he was a visionist, and he has a lot of vision, and Manly's emotional intelligence was very high.
Right. Michael Mann was him know how to do things, connect with people, and a brilliant
Yeah,
speaker.
man. Right. That's why he's a very good speaker, excellent speaker, probably one of the best for a long time. The only one who come near him was Bruce Golden,
Right.
away from the Rex Neckleford, you know. So Mandy was a very good speaker. He was a visionist,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I think that we got some good credit from Mr. Mandy. Was a
Well,
visionist.
well,
And
the PNP of Michael Manley and Portia Simpson Miller. He said, Dudley, please ask your caller to get a team from Risers, and the thing went off the screen. I didn't see the rest of it. Went off the screen. Yeah,
I
Michael
let me
Manley
say this.
Michael Manley was a visionary. But
Yeah, man.
the PNP then, the PNP knows no, it's a different story.
Yeah, man. I think I think looking at some of the persons working with Mr. Under this present PNP, listen to them talk. I think they are negatively. I don't know. I don't know negatively different from opposing, but a person can oppose in a positive way. Right? So what you oppose the right thing because you see something that is going on wrong and you oppose.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of these people are too negative. And I think they spend too much time on just personal life.
Peter White is asking the subject. Peter White is asking the subject. Peter White, we're talking about earlier we were talking about the blue dot poll, and now we're looking at both PNP and GLP and the plans for Jamaica. So Peter, welcome to the show, Peter White. And earlier we look at the aspect of the opening up of the St. Thomas Urban Center, where Mark Golding said Dr. Shaw disrespected Ferguson, but we played the clip and we did not see any disrespect. Did you see any disrespect there? Let us know, Mr. Peter Wright. Thanks for joining us. Yes, right on.
Yeah, man. So as I said, as where was I again though?
Looking at Michael Manley.
Yeah, I think I'm talking about these present persons now in Parliament. I think they spend too much time to bring Andrew down than bring the party down. Andrew, the head of the party, Andrew, not the party itself. So I think they are bringing down the head of government instead of bringing down the government. You understand me?
Yeah, it worked, It worked then because based on Jamaican politics, the strength of the leader depends on the party's success. If the leader is strong, the party will do what at the poll. Because remember, I said on the poem earlier now. The reason why PNP got 3 terms under PGA years ago is because they demonized Edward Seaga. To the point where Seaga couldn't win the election after 1980.
All right. Let me explain something. What I want to say to you. What I shouldn't spend too much time on, right? When the Integrity Commission was doing a work, and I think, based on my knowledge, the Integrity Commission should be a confidential thing that they bring to the public, and then you can run with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think something I was running with against Andrew, without even the public know. What about it? You see the point? So they are running with some things. Now it end up, whether in right or wrong, but it end up where they cannot prove what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? So I think what I'm saying, they spent too many times to bring him down because I don't want to hit him so hard. So everything them here, because any positive proof,
That's true.
run with it because they want to bring him down.
All right, this is my take on that now.
Get the facts, like, get the facts. I'm before you attack.
All right, hello. My take on that is that what is the PNP main problem? The PNP is failing to do the hard, real political work. They're seeing that.
What is that? What?
They're seeing that if they try to get Andrew Holness, no, they're saying that to me, if the PNP try to get Andrew Holness, try to find him guilty of some level of a thief money, then so to speak, and it can be of a scandal that can get him out, that they take him to Garden House. The PNP, they don't come with a plan for the country. I say, but this is our plan. This is what we're going to do if you're elected. They're more trying to demonize Andrew Holness as their way into Garden House. Is it working? It's not working. For the past 2 years, Mr. Gold is on the campaign trail talking about this the commission can be certified. For the past 2 years, is on the campaign trail. He talk about crime. Crime is now down, so he can no longer talk about crime. No longer about poverty. He can no longer talk about people need water and light. I heard I play a clip earlier where Philip Powell said that the JLP's plan to reduce electricity by 7% is a 3-year trick. And as soon as the JLP, if JLP was returned to power, it'll be taken off again. It's a 3-year trick. So the PNP need to come with some good political work and put things in place. Right now in Hanover, Greg Owen is saying that the office in Hanover is now rat infested and nobody's there. Like it's an abandoned building.
What that?
The constituent office in Hanover is now an abandoned building.
The what?
The constituent office in Hanover is now an abandoned building.
Okay.
The PNP office is an abandoned building. That means the person on the ground is not working in Hanover.
All right. When Mr. Patterson had to step down, what did they say about thing? What did that and he said I shall return?
Yeah. The first, yeah.
All right.
I shall return.
Was that something or over the police killing Mr. Manley before him step down? I know people talking about like what them kill Angelo. Was it all over the place until he stepped down?
No.
Huh?
It just break out and then resign and say, I shall return. And he came back and become prime minister and get 3 terms.
When it break out, people talk at a point.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say to you now, what this president government do, when they're on the street, they run with it.
Yeah, because they want a shortcut way to Garden House.
That's the point.
And they feel that if they can bring down Andrew Holness as a person, that they take it to God. Remember the last election where Dr. Phillips was campaigning and Andrew Big House? Remember that?
The
PNP had the PNP had their own strategy to campaign then. But Dr. Phillips alone was not talking about Andrew Holness and a big house as his campaign strategy. I couldn't understand why this man had talked about the man big house, a big house as a campaign thing. I couldn't get it. And my take on that was, if Andrew Holness build a big house with his money, it's not a problem. But if Andrew build a big house with taxpayer money, then it become a problem. But it could not be proven that it was building this big house with taxpayers' money. And it flopped Peter for this big time.
Anyway, don't have to run.
Yeah, man. Nice to be on the program.
Yeah, man. Good.
Yeah. All right. That was, feel free to call it. That was right to McLaren there. 413-309. 413-316-0075. If you want to be a part of the program. Yes. Although we soon wrap up the program here, we soon close the show. We're here since 1 o'clock. All right, we're gonna close very shortly. And we were recapping earlier that we get the call there from Writer McLaren who give us some good insight in the program here, and we want to go live more often as soon as things happen. We will focusing on the PNP press conference later on and give our perspective on that one. It's now going on now as we speak. The PNP press conference. We'll do that tomorrow and give us our perspective on what is happening in the PNP press conference. So we're going to end today's program now. Thanks for your company. All right. Thanks for your company there. And hope to see you again next time when we go live here on this channel, WDT Media TV. And so they must finish by now. Well, I'll probably finish by now, but we'll look at that. We'll look at that for you tomorrow and look at the press conference and then see what they were saying at that press conference. We can't say anything now because we didn't see the press conference, so we can't comment what we did not see. So we will look at the press conference and then give us your take, our take, and you can take your take on that tomorrow when it comes. Before we go a little bit on sports, and remember we'll be giving you updates. All right, thanks. You can call tomorrow. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Annette Allen. You can give us a call tomorrow. Yes, thanks. All right, so we'll also be giving you football as well. We plan to give us a football feature that Brazil is in danger, not going to the World Cup, and also Jamaica. It will be playing in the Gold Cup. And can Jamaica win? And the only team to win the CONCACAF tournament, it was called that then, was Haiti. It was called Gold Cup then. It was called the CONCACAF Championships. And can Jamaica become the second team to win that? The first and only being Haiti back in 1973. Yes, Haiti, for those that did not know. It was called the Gold Cup back then. It was called the CONCACAF Championships. And Haiti won it in 1973. But Jamaica reached the finals and lost to USA and lost semifinals twice. Never win it again, at all for the Caribbean. Only Haiti back then. And also, we're looking at track and field as well. Trying to see, we'll be seeing Chain of the Guard. We'll see Dudley Thompson era back in action. And track and field soon upon us. And more politics as well and more. So until then, have yourselves a wonderful day. And again, thanks for your company. And see you again tomorrow. We'll look at the PNP press conference. Have for yourselves a wonderful day.